Hey, kids, you're listening to a couple of Annoyed Grunt Boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast.
I was up late night balling, counting up hundreds by the thousand. I was up late night balling, counting up hundreds.
That's right, we're the Simpsons podcast that discusses the animated sitcom The Simpsons from seasons 12 and beyond, and the newest episodes when they air. Why do we do it this way? Well, plenty of other podcasts have discussed the golden age, that being seasons 1 through 10, and you're saying, hey, what about 11? Well, we've already talked about season 11, so check it out in our back catalog. We've completed a whole season. But I say we because I'm just one Annoyed Grunt Boy named Craig. With me, as always, is our other Annoyed Grunt Boy,
Steve. Hello, Craig.
Hey, Steve, I'm wondering, maybe we should just keep saying 11 and beyond. Let's drop the 12 and beyond because, it's hard for me to remember what to say.
That's fine. It's it does make our clunky intro even clunkier. So I think that's fine. Yeah.
And I think the point of the podcast was always to say 11 and beyond and the newest episodes when they air, because the point of the podcast is, and we've talked about this off pod, inside baseball real quick. We number the episodes like podcasts do, like this is episode 361, but I think that also like scares people away because like they think they have to listen to the 360 before this.
Right.
And I think the point of this podcast was always to like, idea was like, because you watch just like a random Simpsons episode on FX or Disney, like the live stream, like, oh yeah, this episode. And then you just look through our catalog to see if we've talked about it. If you look up like season 30, episode 2, which we talk about.
And also, I don't think that there's like a lot of lore about us that you need to know to enjoy the show.
True. There's not much lore except all you need to know is that Steve and I met when we were hockey players. I was on the opposing team of Steve, and we would shower with each other after games. And I would like shower next to Steve and like look down and jerk off looking at him. And then we eventually just like hooked up. But we were hockey players.
Right.
Who like to have sex with each other. And we played for different teams. Not that he was straight or gay. It was just, we were just hockey players having sex.
We just had a heated rivalry, if you will.
Yeah. And I wrote all this down. We talked about this. We were at a coffee shop and I wrote this all down. I left my whole idea for this TV show idea at Starbucks. And anyways, hopefully no one finds out about that, our true story, and makes a TV show based off of it.
Right. Because they would be really rich and we would just be two idiots making a podcast.
Have you heard about this TV show called Heated Rivalry, Steve?
No. What are you talking about?
No, I'm dropping the bit. But like, all they're talking about is this hockey. We even, I think, made a reference to it an episode ago. But like, this is all that anyone's talking about now is Heated Rivalry. And like, I like hockey. Should I watch it?
I mean, maybe. I think what it is, and I think it's two things. One, just because I get a lot of stuff for Book Talk, which is the literary side of TikTok, because I'm so smart, is that gay hockey culture is very popular among romance novels for some reason. And also, I think that for years, us straight guys have had a lot of lesbian stuff to look at. And so finally, ladies are getting some gay stuff to look at. And so the tables have turned, and so they good on them. And also the gay man, too.
Yes. It's funny because, like, hockey players typically are very, like, conservative, leaning people. But, like, I like how this is just turning into, like, a gay culture, like, renaissance with hockey. And didn't it start off with, like, fan fiction? I didn't read much, but I swear I saw someone said, like, maybe it was, like, a fan fiction between Alexander Ovechkin for the Capitals and Sidney Crosby for the Pittsburgh Penguins, because like they're like the two biggest players,
and they do have a rivalry. So
yes,
I could see a hockey fan basically writing that story, and yeah, it makes sense.
And I know like women, not all women, but like we used to go to like in my youth, like the Portland Winterhawks, which is our local junior hockey league.
Oh yeah,
and it comprises of like 15 to 20-year-old boys, and they have such like a young girl, like a lot of the young girls love to go to those games because it's boys their age.
Oh, yeah, and they're like heartthrobs for them.
They're all like 6'7", attractive Canadians. You know, I didn't mean to say 6'7" in the that phrase is gone, by the way. But you know, they're all tall, cute Canadian boys.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, girls like to call the ice rink, like a hockey rink, the boy aquarium. Ew, this is really funny.
It is.
And you know, we watched shows like Letterkenny, which is the Shorzy, which I actually haven't watched Shorzy since season 1. I'm very far behind on that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the hockey culture itself. I think it's funny because, like, you know, as someone who's liked the sport of hockey, it's very much like number 4 or 5 for Americans for sports. You know, it's like football is always number 1. Actually, I think baseball is number 2 now. Like, baseball gets more ratings than basketball, then probably American or soccer, and then ice hockey. It feels like. Anyways, I just think it's funny that this is a cultural moment. It's about hockey, but it's. And are you curious of watching it? I mean, I know they do graphic stuff, but I don't think we see like Hammer, right?
I would doubt it, but I don't know.
I'm talking about Penis, not MC Hammer. Is MC Hammer in it?
Probably not. I mean, I don't think I ever saw him in a hockey jersey, but you never know.
It just disappoints me because we start now having a structure to our Patreon podcast, and there's like a couple things I want to watch that have nothing to do with The Simpsons, and Heated Rivalry would be one of them, but we're not going to be doing it, Steve.
Maybe in February. It is Love Month after all.
Is there a scene like I just want to know if there's like a scene in this show where like one of the players is going down, like, you know, sucking hog, slobbing on some hammer. And he's all like, oh yeah, release the juice, give me your venom, referring to semen.
Of course, yeah. Hey, that brings us to
what?
The number 1 movie for October 7th, 2018. And why would we say that date specifically? Why, that's about the time the episode that we're talking about today aired.
And that movie was called
Venom.
See, that's how I do a segue, Steve.
Well done. I wish there were more female people similar to you, like maybe 4 or 6 of them, or somewhere in between. You could I could signify you by the color that you wear. It'd be like an off red with a little bit of purple. And maybe you could have some Bacardi.
You know, one of my favorite shows is Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Of course.
And the alien villains of the show are one of them called the Cardassians.
Yes.
And do you know what Chief O'Brien, he's kind of racist on the show. You know, he calls the Cardassians short for, like, as a derogatory term.
What do they call him?
Well, he should say wet-ass pussies,
right?
But he doesn't. Because he calls them Cardies.
That Cardi B over there.
That's right. Especially the female ones. He says Cardi B's. Steve, what was the number 1 song on Billboard of that week?
Why, it was Girls Like You by Maroon 5 featuring Cardi B. And, you know, I had big aspirations for that song when it came out. But when I was at the club, I was really worried that it wouldn't be a hit.
Steve, do you know the TV show Star Trek Discovery?
Yes, I do.
So, like, in the first season, there's an episode where, like, they're running the halls. And it's funny because they're wearing, like, official Star Trek Discovery, or the ship was called the USS Discovery, and they're wearing, like, shirts that have the name Discovery on it, but they just shorten it to like the first half of Discovery.
Sure.
There's a famous Simpsons character with the name Stu, so they had his name on it. It was funny.
That is funny.
Okay. Steve, what was the hot rock alternative?
Why, it was High Hopes by Panic at the Disco.
At the Disco, okay.
You know, you were like really trying to force those jokes, but I guess they were the way they were supposed to, like, it was supposed to happen.
Oh, Steve, I'm a Star Trek fan, right?
You sure are.
So in the episode of Star Trek Enterprise, there's a race called the Xindi. And they were trying to do an episode, like a whole arc. And you know how Star Trek likes to relate to the real world.
Sure.
And so 9/11 had just happened.
Ooh.
And in the real world. And then in the Star Trek world, they wanted to kind of parallel that. And so the race of characters named the Xindi literally took like a freaking laser beam from their spaceship, to America, to America's wing,
Whoa.
and like shot a laser beam, like a straight, like, what's that word? Like a straight shot through America's wing all the way to like the state that's above the America's wing. Anyways, what was the number one hot country song of that week?
Why, it was Meant to Be by Baby Rexha featuring the Florida-Georgia line.
It's very funny. Yeah, you still watch the episode. There's a line through Florida. Okay.
You tell me there's a line, but I don't know if I can believe you. I mean, you're always making these claims, these big things, like these, aspirations of things that you're going to do, and it seems a little hollow. But I'm just like, promises.
And Steve, this episode drops on January 15th of 2026, right?
This is true, yes.
And today we're brought to you by Star Trek Starfleet Academy, which premieres today. And there is a character, Sam, on the show. And speaking of Star Trek, one of my favorite actors, Harris Yulin, guest starred on Deep Space Nine, but he recently passed away this last year. I don't know why I'm bringing up so much Star Trek, Steve.
I don't know.
What was the Hot Dance Electric song? Jesus.
Why, it was Promises by Calvin Harris and Sam Smith.
I hope this sounds better in post.
What's post?
And on that note, Steve, let's watch this episode. It's called Heartbreak Hotel. Marge and Homer's marriage is tested when they travel to a tropical island to compete for $1 million on Marge's favorite reality competition show. But after getting eliminated in the first round, Marge finds out that it was all Homer's fault.
Oh, no.
All right, Steve, let's hope this train wreck of an introduction isn't a train wreck of an episode. So let's take a break, come back, and discuss.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Today we're talking about Heartbreak Hotel. It's the second episode of the 30th season. It's episode 641 in the show's run. Original air date, October 7th, 2018. The nerd code is XABF15. Written by Renee, Ridgeley, and Matt Selman. Directed by Stephen Dean Moore. Showrunner, Matt Selman.
Alrighty, Renee Ridgeley is an actress, and she's been in various movies and TV shows, such as an episode of Angel and some Young and the Restless. And so far, she's appeared in 7 episodes of The Simpsons. And this is the only episode that she's written so far. I guess it's worth noting that she's also the wife of Matt Selman.
I remember her character in Angel.
Do you really? Yeah.
It was the very first episode.
I know.
Of course, I knew this. Didn't have to look it up.
Of course.
But it was the first episode, and she was kind of like the Ghislaine Maxwell to like a vampire.
Okay.
So she would go to like young actresses or young women who wanted to be actresses, and she would take like videos of them and like pictures and then give them to her boss, who would end up like eating them.
Oh, that's exactly, yeah, that's...
Spoilers, he was a vampire.
That is a very apt description of that role.
And spoilers, Steve, Angel comes in at the end, because he's like this is Angel just moved to LA. This is the first episode, right? He's left Sunnydale.
Mm-hmm.
He left his love of his life, Buffy, to start up his private investigation agency in Los Angeles, California. Well, he didn't go to set up a private investigation. It was thrown upon him, essentially. And so he goes to this high-power business guy from L.A. who's a vampire, has, a lot of yes men around him, because Angel's friend, Cordelia, was about to be a victim.
Oh.
And so Angel goes into the office. He's like, hey, buddy, you can't do this. It's bad. And then he's like, you can't stop me. I'm a vampire. And Angel's like, oh, yeah? So am I. But I got a soul, bitch.
Oh.
And then he just takes him and he kicks him because he's wearing he's sitting in an office chair with wheels. And so he just shoves the office chair outside of a high-rise building, and then he turns into dust. And he's like, Angel's in town, bitches. And then that's the first episode.
Wow, I'm sure Bill Clinton had the exact same situation. He was also, he wasn't actually a bad guy. He was just in there because he needed to do the same thing that Angel did.
What are we talking about?
Matt Selman, also writer on the show, he's written 30 episodes, and he also helped with the movie script, and he's the showrunner these days. This is the 17th episode of his that we've reviewed. Some of the beloved ones are like Jaws Wired Shut and Trilogy There. And, we talked about that 90s show, which we actually, I think, liked. And then he also worked on episodes such as The Great Gatsby Part 2.
The Great Gatsby. Steve, you just put down like 90s show and Great Gatsby, like 2 episodes that are controversial. Well, one is, are we the only ones who make The Great Gatsby controversial because we don't like them?
I think we're the only ones who actually talk about it at all.
We're the only ones who saw it, I think.
Probably, yeah. People are just like, yeah, it's not for us.
Yeah, that whole like demarcation line of original Simpsons fans, I'm talking like our age, like the Gen X or millennials who grew up with Simpsons, like they gave up on the show. And that's the whole reason of this podcast, right?
Right.
So let's try to remember our mission statement was we're aging millennials who would say Simpsons sucked after the monorail episode, but now we're back.
And I think for the most part, we're pretty positive about it.
Yeah. I mean, we all know the Simpsons kind of went downhill after Bart the Genius. That was like after that.
I think once they left the Tracy Ullman show, they kind of lost the rails. They got too long.
I think that hiring Brian, the character who played Brian in the movie, had nothing in common to play the voice of Homer. Just screwed up with the Simpsons. They should have cast someone else, like Tom Hanks.
Or Hector Elizondo.
Our fans are probably confused, like, what are they talking about? Well, if you were a Patreon, you would understand.
That's right.
So sign up today at patreon.com/AnnoyedGruntBoys for that nothing in common reference.
Just $5 a month and you get to know what the hell we're talking about.
All right, Steve, let's begin the episode. And it begins as it always does with the Simpsons sitting on the couch. I mean, that's a lot of episodes do begin.
It's true.
So Homer has his Duff and potato chips, and the kids have their Buzz Cola and healthy chips, that aren't actually healthy. Much like, you get those like veggie straws, like, oh, this is good because it's good for you.
Those are like worse because you think you should eat more because you deserve it because they're not as bad for you. But then you just end up eating more and then you still wanted a good snack. So just indulge in the good stuff.
Just eat some goddamn Fritos.
Damn straight.
It's like, remember in the 90s when the Olay potato chips came out, like the
Olestra ones?
Yes. And they were Olestra. And then it turns out, I guess, they didn't do that much market research. Like, oh, yeah, it's just going to give you some wet-ass diarrhea.
Yeah.
Steve, did you have an Olay chip?
Not those chips, but I remember I was dating somebody and they were wanting to cut sugar from their diet. So they got some alternative sandwich cookies that weren't Oreos or Hydrox. And I ate them like I eat Oreos, which means I downed a sleeve in minutes. And they had quite the effect on me. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to get into graphic details.
Okay.
But it's funny we talk about Oreos and the sleeves. Like, I assume the family size packaging is normal packaging, but then I realized, like, oh, that's family size. And I cut through a sleeve of family size Oreos. Also, a new hot take, Steve.
Ooh.
I don't think I could tell the difference or name most of the newer Oreo flavors.
Really?
Like, I just got chocolate chip cookie dough Oreos, and they just taste like Oreos to me. Like, this is kind of pointless, these ones. I'm sorry. Negative response to these ones.
I think they really lost the plot with the mixing of Oreos. I would say, like, the Oreo Coke hybrid was ambitious and dumb. And I think they accomplished something. I don't know if it's the right thing, but they did something there. And ever since then, I think they've been trying to chase that high of, like, some crazy-ass shit, and they haven't been doing it because they tried too many things. Like, I don't need a watermelon Oreo. I don't need, like, you added peanut butter to it. You made it the best it could be, and then just stop.
Yeah, the peanut butter one, specifically when they had the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup / Oreo collab, doesn't taste any different than the regular peanut butter Oreo. So I'm like, who you fooling, kids?
And the vice versa of that, the Oreo flavored Reese's was bullshit because it was white chocolate and it was just not that good.
I never had those. I assumed they would just put like chunks of Oreo cookie in the peanut butter.
They got fancy with it. So like the bottom half was chocolate, the top half was white chocolate to kind of like assume the filling. But no, just not good.
Anyways, let's continue the show, Steve. Marge is sipping on her Diet Lady Buzz Cola. I like how it's Diet Lady Buzz Cola. They are gathered around the old boob tube to watch their favorite reality competition show, where a mere month ago, 12 couples arrived on a tropical island.
After an emergency balloon landing, a jellyfish explosion, and the most viewed cantaloupe catapult accident of all time, Just 4 couples remain. I'm Tag Tuckerbag, and this is the greatest adventure to take place in just one place.
The
Amazing Place!
Play
Show!
The final challenge is the lily pad leap.
They haven't done the LP leap since season 22. Beauty versus sexy. Kayla, don't step on the stem. You'll flip the pad. You should know that. You're a life coach.
They
flipped the pad!
What a noob.
Hector and Audrey Chang, you have won the Amazing Place!
Hold it.
Mom, you always call the winner. How do you know?
Well, your father may have Moe's in football, but I have being by myself and this show.
Steve,
Yes.
I forgot before we started this podcast here. Here's a glass of Everclear. I just got you a nice glass there. So you don't have to drink it right now. But
thank you.
You do have to take a sip. Every time they say the word noob, you have to take a shot.
Okay.
Or a sip, sorry. You know what? I like shot better. Give me that glass back. I'm
All
the
right.
bottle. Just adjust. Okay, there's a shot. So they did it once. I'm also going to play the game. So here we go.
Here we
One
go.
shot. Okay. Woo, okay. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so just when they say the word noob, that's all.
Not when we say noob, right?
No.
Okay,
This- on the
good.
show, this episode. Tag Tuckerbag,
Mm-hmm.
which is what Tucker Carlson's wife calls his balls.
Sure.
I don't know. Played by the ever so lovely Reese Darby. Every time I see this guy on TV or any project, he just gives me a smile. Sounds weird. Unlike Tucker Carlson's wife.
Of course, yes. Can I say, and I don't know if this is weird, I feel like you and him offer the same kind of energy.
He was recently on an episode of Star Trek Stranger Worlds. Of course, delightful in that. I love the TV show Our Flag Means Death, and he was wonderful in that, along with the other guy from Flight of the Conchords that worked.
Jermaine.
Another Kiwi. No, not Jermaine. Taika Waititi.
Oh, yes, of course.
And then Reese Darby also in the original What We Do in the Shadows film.
That's true. And I first fell in love with him, or got to know him, in Flight of the Conchords as the Conchords manager.
Just anytime he comes up, like those Jumanji movies with like The Rock and Karen Gillan, like he's in them, and he's like the best part of the movie. So I love Reese Darby. So if any project he's in is definitely gonna make me like it.
For sure. Now, they're talking, of course, about reality TV, and we may have discussed it before, but where do you stand on competition reality TV? Like, are you a fan? They're, of course, alluding to the Survivors or the the Amazing Places. That's not an amazing place at all, America right now. Not a political podcast, but like, do you watch a lot of reality TV?
They should just do the next season of Survivor America.
Too dangerous.
Sounds like a really bad SNL sketch. Yeah, I don't watch reality TV shows. I think because we grew up at that time when reality shows were starting to become a big thing. Like even when we were kids, like the reality shows that us kids watched on MTV, like The Real World or World Rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew friends that had watched it. Like my sister had watched it. I never got into it. I didn't care because all I saw was arguing people, and I don't want to watch people arguing. And then when Survivor came on when we were in high school, I'm like, it's not for me. I like scripted television.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's going to be. I'm very staunch on that. So game shows are different. Like at that time, people like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire came on. I'd watch that. I like, like Jeopardy, those type of competitions, just answer questions. But yeah, these kind, I don't know what Mr. Beast Games is. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch any Survivors. I don't watch Bachelors. I don't watch Love Island. I don't watch The Simpsons. I don't watch. Yes, The Simpsons is great, but yeah, I don't watch them. And you?
No, I don't really. I like you mentioned Jeopardy. We are big Jeopardy fans in this household. We watch it every night, and we will watch kind of competency-based competition shows. Most notably, the Great British Bake Off, because it's people who know what they're doing, and it's impressive to watch them do something they're good at. So like a cooking competition I'll watch, although I can't stand Gordon Ramsay anymore, again, because it's like angry people being angry. And that's another reason why the Great British Bake Off is so attractive to me, is because it is like pleasant and it's nice people helping people out. And I like that.
I guess I forgot that I watched Food Network shows. Like I'd watch obviously Chopped or Guy Fieri's white trash version of that game show. What's it called? Grocery Games.
Right.
It's the white trash version, but obviously, honestly, I think I like it more because the food is something I really want to eat. Because they just make like this butter fried with oil and.
Yeah, I think most Guy Fieri things could be called the white trash version, but he's a good guy, so probably.
Gordon Ramsay, yeah, that I lost like all credibility to Gordon Ramsay, like when he started putting out TV dinners at Walmart,
Right.
and like the one like you watching like some of his like cooking videos. If you ever looked up him cooking a grilled cheese sandwich, it's the most atrocious looking fucking sandwich that you could never eat, and it's hard as fucking like what he's using hard ass bread, he's using hard ass cheese, and the cheese slices are like 2 inches. Like, what are you doing, Gordon? Like, grilled cheese is white bread, mayonnaise, butter, American cheese, done.
Yeah, there's another clip of him making pad thai in front of a Thai chef.
Oh no!
And he just fucks it up 7 ways from Sunday. Like, it was just so bad. And like, pad thai has a lot of ingredients, but it's not that complex of a dish. And I feel like if you're a chef like Gordon Ramsay, you should be able to handle that no problem.
Also, like his like scrambled egg method is way too runny, and like, I mean, I'm American. I like my scrambled eggs the way I make them. Yeah, I think that's the thing with like scrambled eggs is like you have your own preference of scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
I like diner style scrambled eggs where like nice like big chunks, little chunks. You know, like those nice flat buttery yumminess. That's the kind of scrambled eggs Craig likes. Not your like almost like cottage cheese consistency scrambled eggs, Mr. Fucking.
I think that's like a fancy chef thing to do is to like make the worst scrambled eggs you can that are like liquidy and.
Yeah. A lot of creme fraiche.
Yeah, which they have their place, but come on, it's just scrambled eggs. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Anyway, as hashtag Amazing Place Tryouts pops up on screen, an announcer asks the viewers if they enjoy adventure, bandanas, and having your friends witness you melt down on TV. If so, you may be just the perfect fit for season 48 of The Amazing Place. Bart suggests that Homer and Marge try out, thinking that they would dominate the competition, but Marge isn't so sure. She misquotes Wayne, MAGA Gretzky, and Michael, Scott, saying, "You don't fail at 100% of the shots you don't take." It's true.
What was that from? Did you finish the paper?
I think I have like one episode left, and I just can't bring myself to finish it for no particular reason.
I think there was like a line that Oscar says that line to Ned, the Tom Hill Gleason character.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he said, a great man once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And also a really dumb man said it. So that was a nice like little reference to the Office. Again, not the Office ladies. We're the Office boys.
That's right.
No, Office lords.
Lords and ladies, yeah.
Lords. Yeah. Lisa argues that Marge has seen every episode of The Amazing Place, listened to the director's commentaries, and even forced the family to play the awful CD-ROM home version of the game, which offers a whopping 3 possible endings. Other titles of the Simpsons board game library include Taffyland, Battleboat, and Mouse Catch. Now, I know this episode came out in 2018. Podcasts were pretty popular by 2018, right?
Yes. In fact, we were just 3 months away from starting our own here.
It's weird that she said director's commentaries. Do they sell Survivor DVDs with audio commentary? It'd almost be like she's like, I've listened to all the podcasts of the Amazing Place wrap-up shows. Because, I mean, at that time, too, Talking Dead, right after The Walking Dead with Chris Hardwick was on, so they were doing all of these like wrap-up TV shows in 2018.
And I feel like that seems like something like Jeff Probst probably had like a post-Survivor show anyway. So, yeah.
But then I like this bit with the CD-ROM home version because so many games, I have some. We have so many board games, but so many like board games with a CD-ROM attachment or like a DVD.
Oh yeah,
like I have like Lord of the Rings Trivial Pursuit that has a DVD, so you'd have to like play it, But now you can't really play those CD-ROM games.
Yeah, and like even the DVDs, like we have a DVD player like connected to our PlayStation, but like. It's rare that we actually play DVDs.
Can I be old man unbox real quick?
Sure.
Computer companies, put CD-ROMs back. Give us more inputs on our computers.
Yeah.
Like now, like your Apple computer just has like what? A USB-C input and that's it?
I've got 2. Thank you very much. But no USB, just.
Like I remember when I got a laptop years ago, I was really hesitant because it didn't have a CD burner built into it, like my other laptops had. I mean, you don't know. I might need to burn a compilation CD. You don't know.
You never know.
I miss old tech, like I say in every episode. Anyways, it must be that Everclear that's making me nostalgic, Steve.
Well, Bart and Lisa are persistent, repeatedly telling Marge to try out for the show while they attend church, watch a fast car racing event, and even back at the dinner table, despite the kids' voices becoming hoarse after the constant encouragement. Marge snaps back, saying that she isn't trying out, and then tells the kids to can it.
You know whose voice became really hoarse when they would talk a lot?
Who's that?
Mr. Ed.
It's true.
So after using such harsh language with her kids, Marge takes a step back, and Homer thinks they should reveal the truth. But Bart and Lisa assume they know all of the family secrets, including the fact that Homer spent their college funds invested in Dippin' Dens, a chain of chewing tobacco cafes. Homer swears there was money to be made in this brilliant idea, if only they took into account all of the spitting. Marge reveals her awful truth, while Homer contemplates the fate of the chaw-based eateries.
Well, I might as well come clean.
The real tragedy is now Chaw House owns the entire casual chewing market.
The truth is, we have tried out dozens of times. Why should you pick us to be on The Amazing Place? Because we're best friends who never bicker. We're constantly at each other's throats. We're motorcycle bikers.
That's our persona.
We have no idea what you want. Just please pick us.
Why are you still doing this? We were already on that show where we had to crawl into a drainage ditch.
That was just you, and it wasn't a show. It was a police body cam.
That was a good show.
After 46 rejections, I can take a hint. They don't want us.
I feel like auditioning for The Amazing Race has become somewhat of a TV trope on TV shows that aren't The Amazing Race. I can think of like 30 Rock as one example where Fred Armisen was Liz Lemon's neighbor, and they were worried that he was an Islamic terrorist. And it turns out that he was just trying out for The Amazing Race. And I feel like there's other shows like that where they think somebody's up to something, but really he just wants to be on The Amazing Race. I think Broad City had a subplot. Just a lot of different shows with that, which it's fine. It's just a funny well to draw from.
Yeah, and like you tell me every day before we record a podcast, you say, "Isn't it great to be part of The Amazing Race?"
Yes.
And I'm like, "What are you talking about, Steve?"
I say we already won because we're in this amazing race. You know, like there was a time when that joke would just be absurd and like we wouldn't have to like think about it. And now I don't know. I hope our listeners know that it's a joke.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, do I have to cut this out of the podcast?
No, you're fine because you're white.
I know there was a podcast I listened to, and one of the hosts made like an off-color joke, and I'm like, I can't believe they kept that in, because it was like could be considered racially insensitive, and these are two hosts that don't tread on that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they kept that in, like, and even like the other host was like, "What are you saying?" He's like, "No, because of this." And he's like, "Oh, in context." And like, okay. I mean, I understand the context, but, and of course, context is for kings, but yeah, like, you can't say stupid shit anymore because you'll get in trouble.
Well, it's just the fact that there are awful people in the world still, and they're more vocal than ever. So, yeah.
Well, just flash forward to 30 years when CNN interviews the Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve, and he made a joke about being part of The Amazing Race.
Well, let's get back to a simpler time, because in that attic that they were
Okay,
just in,
Chevy.
speaking of great guys, there's some stuff from other episodes that highlight Marge's failures and dreams, such as a painting of Ringo Starr from Brush with Greatness, the quilt that got torn apart by Santa's Little Helper from Bart's Dog Gets an F, and the popsicle stick statues of Bart, Lisa, and Maggie from Ice Cream of Margie with the light blue hair, which I think we may have reviewed. Maybe?
Yeah, that sounds kind of familiar. The boxes were labeled Dreams Denied, Dreams Deferred, and Dreams Shattered. You know, we always say it too. We like a reference to previous episodes.
Definitely.
Wait a minute. Wasn't that portrait of Ringo sent to Ringo and he put it up?
That's
Or
true.
is that different? is that a different Ringo? Probably a different one. I think she painted multiple Ringos.
She did, yeah.
Okay. And also Homer thinking that chewing tobacco restaurants was a great idea. We never grew up in the time of saloons in the Old West with spittoons.
It's true. Like, I feel like you and I have come up with a number of restaurant ideas. One with Cha isn't one of them yet.
What if we do the actors' workshop restaurant where you see every time you're watching a movie or TV show and there's a dinner scene or an eating scene, and actors will have to take a bite of a food and chew it but not swallow, and so there's always a bucket there to spit. So I think the restaurant would be working on your acting, eating skills.
And also good for those with eating disorders.
And then the buckets of spit food we'll just donate to the orphanage.
The one.
I'm sure there's just the one giant scary building in every city that says the orphanage.
City orphanage.
Yes. There's like cobwebs everywhere. Like all the trees are dead. There's bats and owls and a lone wolf howling.
Sure.
And like scary nuns with like paddles and they're paddling their hands. Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's just a slot and for babies to be dropped off.
I thought you were going to talk about the nun. That slot's closed, Steve.
Clearly. Speaking of slots,
all right.
Marge may be ready to admit defeat, but Lisa isn't so sure. Thinking about how reality shows love a sob story and that they have a storage bin full of tears, Lisa has a plan. Lisa can edit those auditions together while Bart feeds the dog marshmallows to see what happens. Lisa gets to work piecing together clips while Bart stuffs Santa's little helper's face full of Uncle Gooey's marshmallows.
So the tryouts for the amazing place are underway at the Springfield Squidport. And it seems that everyone in town is there to audition. Kirk and Luann tell the casting directors that they aren't there to make friends. Unless, Kirk meets a really awesome guy who wants to be his pal. And like the cool guy he met at that boba place. I think it was Fat. Unfortunately, that guy was moving to Hong Kong and didn't know his number yet.
Sure. Clancy thinks that he could be the crazy no limits guy challenging society's norms, a requirement of every great reality show. And he tells them to get the pixelation machine ready because he is destined to become their bug-eating nude fatso. Also, he's not there to make friends. Lisa and Bart are next, ready to make the case for Marge and Homer to be on the show.
Oh my God. Married kids? You're in the show.
Ew, no.
We're here on behalf of some different weirdos.
Our parents have tried out for every season of The Amazing Place. My dad would even record my mom opening your letters in case they got picked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So think what a magical TV moment it would be for our mom to find out she made it on the show.
After losing all hope.
When she didn't even know she applied.
The ultimate superfan gets one last chance to make her dreams come true.
I don't know. It sounds a little manipulative.
You're fired. I think we just found our Boston Rob.
Or your Springfield Clancy. Huh?
I really like Tress's character being like, married kids? They can't be married, they're siblings. Gross, Tress.
Is there always a bigger guy that's always naked? I think that's a reference to like the first season of Survivor, right? The Richard Hatch. Because I remember the name.
And I think there was like probably another one, but yeah, I think that there are like certain archetypes in every reality show, be it the sassy gay guy or the nude straight guy who shouldn't be nude, or like the dumb guy. There's like always like this certain like personas that kind of pop up.
Yeah. Well, back at home, Marge is at the kitchen table checking the email. Among the past due electric bill and a website renewal for dippinDens.com. Steve, is it still there?
No, it's gone, sadly.
Is a very important envelope informing Marge that she and Homer have been selected to compete on The Amazing Place. I always wondered like how you get the news if you enter a contest or something like that. I would imagine they call you, email.
I mean, when I've tried out for Jeopardy and gotten not very far, most of the commerce has been through email, but I'd imagine a phone call probably takes place, just so they can like maybe record a reaction if they need it or something.
Have they ever done a Tootsie-esque movie based off of Jeopardy where, because I've heard the rumors, now it's different, that for the longest time, they didn't get a lot of female contestants, and they'd always favor female contestants over male because there were so many male contestants.
Sure.
So have they ever done like Like Dustin Hoffman dresses as a woman to become a contestant on Jeopardy, and he's really Rain Man.
Oh, I mean, if that were the case, then it'd be really good because he's so smart on some topics, and he loves Jeopardy because it's on like right after Wapner. Definitely.
Did Rain Man die in the movie Rain Man? I haven't seen that, Steve.
I think he lived. I know he lived. I tried to watch it. It's pretty of its time, I'll say. Like, I don't think it was intentionally being problematic, but yeah. And I think the secret that nobody's talked about is the fact that Tom Cruise's character was also autistic and his special interest was gambling. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's like one theory, but it is kind of in the same realm as like Ferris Bueller isn't real or stuff like that.
So I'm just asking, can they make a Rain Man 2 with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise?
Yes, they can.
Okay, thank you. But can there also be Muppets in it?
Of course. In fact, I would say that only Muppets except for those two.
Right, exactly.
Make the sex scene great.
Did you say make the vaccine great?
No, the sex scene.
Oh, okay.
Because there'd be Tom Cruise Muppet loads, and we all want to see that.
See, that one shot of Everclear is just kind of getting to me, so...
I feel you, man.
Hopefully we don't have to do any more after this episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, she got the envelope from the Amazing Place, and behind the letter, Tag Tuckerberg, or as Homer calls him, Tag Buggernut, is standing with a camera crew ready to capture Marge's reaction as she learns that she and Homer will compete for $1 million.
Wow. Lisa runs in explaining that she compiled all of the additions together, and Bart offered notes which were ignored. Marge's crazy dream will finally be a crazy reality once she signs the amazing waivers. Homer's impressed by all the possible ways that he could die, be it from having a rock fall on him, himself falling on a rock, or much like Handsome Tom and his eaten face, toxoplasmosis. Handsome Homer is ready to have his face eaten off, and with Patty Selman watching the kids, they take off, landing on an unknown island ready to embark on a test of mental toughness, physical strength, and interviews where they have to pretend to be in the middle of a challenge, despite the challenge being already over.
I mean, I don't watch those shows, but I understand that reference. It's...
Yeah, it's always like they show clips of being like, I'm so scared. What am I going to do? This is so hard. But they already know what they're going to do because it's already done.
It's like same with because I'll watch Chopped and it'll be like, that second dish, I didn't know if I was going to make it through. And then they did, or vice versa. Anyways, so there's a romantic beachside luau in Homer and Marge's future at Lover's Lagoon. But before that, they must face their first challenge. The show has taken one item from every contestant's bag and hide it in another person's luggage. Everyone now must find their suitcase stowaway. Hashtag suitcase stowaway.
I do want to say that throughout all of this, every time they show it, there's a lot of like hashtags like hashtag suitcase stowaway, which I think is fun, and also a funny commentary on these reality shows that have all these hashtags that people don't even interact with anymore because nobody's on the everything app, Twitter, formerly X.com, or X, formerly Twitter.com. So the couple scramble, ready to compete in the ultimate tarmac unpack attack. Marge is prepared. She's seen them do this on the show 3 times before, and she has a plan. The old thump and dig. Homer immediately finds a hairdryer and hangs it on a hook jutting out from a tiki head statue. And Marge scours one bag. She instructs Homer to go through another. And so they both dig through the same suitcase, Marge telling Homer to take his time. Just then, a conch blows, signifying the end of the challenge.
I'm sorry, Homer and Marge. You've been...
Don't say it.
Shell-eliminated.
No. We can't be the first couple kicked off. That's the ultimate humiliation. I never even put on a swimsuit. I never got to see the lagoon. I'm crying, and no one's even filming me. We didn't even make it off the tarmac, all because of my screw-up.
I guess we're going home.
No, you're going there.
Huh? A hotel? But we lost.
If we let you go home now, fans would know you've been kicked off before the season airs. So ejected contestants must stay at this hotel until every episode is finished taping.
So we can't go home for a month?
6 weeks, counting Post.
I don't know what Post is.
Marge, it's a different cereal company like Kellogg's, but they make like inferior products, right?
I mean, they make Raisin Bran and, they're inferior.
that doesn't make me help stop masturbating. Only Kellogg's products does.
That's right. I just shove grape nuts up my ass.
Do you have to tell people why I said that joke?
I think people know that you are a chronic masturbator.
Wasn't his name John Kellogg? Actually, John Kellogg?
I think so, yeah.
He created cornflakes. He thought it would curb people's appetite for masturbation.
Yeah, just watch the amazing Dana Carvey film Road to Wellville, and you can learn all about it.
Or just like the foods that built America, or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah, that too. Featuring Simpsons' own Bill Oakley.
That's right. He is. And chronic masturbator, I'm assuming?
Sure, why not? That's why he eats so much fast food. He doesn't have time for slow food.
I felt so bad for Marge.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that she didn't get to, play the game. But then part of me, and it's kind of funny because the way it plays out, spoilers, I am Homer in this situation. I'm like, oh, shit, I get a 6-week vacation away from the kids in, an all-inclusive kind of hotel. Nice. And I didn't have to pay for anything.
And you don't have to do all that dumb reality show bullshit. You just get to, hang out. It sounds great.
But Marge probably doesn't agree. So the producer tells Marge to save her tears for the reunion show. But Marge is all too aware that she'll be put in the back row, ignored. They might not be able to hug the winner. But Homer, ever the optimist, suggests that the runner-up will be wandering around. And that'll be their time to shine.
So in the room at the Courtyard by Airport, great name, Marge wonders how she could be such a noob. Take a shot. Homer's willing to love a noob. Take a shot. Damn it. Sometime. And they're eager to talk to the kids, but in order to do so, they have to have the blue-haired lawyer assist. So he listens in, telling Marge that if she says anything that reveals or even implies that they've been kicked off the show, they could be fined up to $1 million, and for residents of Georgia, the death penalty.
Once the kids are on the phone line with them, Bart complains that Lisa won't let her use the bubble bath, despite Marge explicitly saying that she bought it for everyone. This is just a weird argument.
Yeah.
Lisa's how would she know that Bart's using the bubble bath, by the way? Does she measure out? She weigh the bottle every time it's not being used?
And why does Bart use the bubble bath so much?
He hates taking baths. He's a 10-year-old boy. Unless he's discovered his body, then I can understand why he wants to hang out in the bath for
a real Bill Oakley, that guy.
This is going to be the one episode Bill's you know what, I'm going to listen to this. Lisa is more interested in the show, but as the blue-haired lawyer sternly stares at Marge, she tells Lisa she can't say. So the kids assume that this all means that Marge is ousting the competition, but Marge is quick to say that she is not revealing or implying any sort of domination.
Lisa is sure that Marge and Homer couldn't have possibly been limited already, since they just got there. The lawyer hands the receiver to Homer, and then a legal pad with a script of things to say. And after Homer struggles to read that script, the lawyer places Homer's hat glasses on his face. We love to see those. And Homer shares some legally acceptable information.
Your mother and I are excited to be part of the Amazing Place family. All further inquiries should be submitted in writing to Don DeBusco Productions, Burbank, California.
What the hell are you talking about?
This conversation is hereby terminated. You are each entitled to 1 capful of bubble bath.
Oh, that's parenting. Come on, baby, it's not so bad.
Really? 6 weeks away from the kids, Grandpa, my sisters, your job, with nothing to do but eat free room service and watch dopey movies on demand while they keep us quiet with an endless supply of free booze. It's a nightmare.
It is. It truly is.
I think this is what you're talking about the horrible hotel living that Homer gets to live.
Yeah. This is the one time I wish this was a video podcast, because if you didn't watch the episode and you just listen to us describing it, every time Marge is making a point about how horrible it is for her, Homer's face is just delighted with joy. And that's me. I'm like, oh my God, I want this.
Yeah.
The whole time thinking all right, Steve, we're going to have to try to sign up to get the Amazing Race and just get, or, just enough to get to the first episode and then fail immediately. So then this happens to us.
I love it.
Yes. So Homer lives that horrible hotel life nightmare, pouring sparkling wine on his head, doing backflips off the bed, enjoying a room service burger on the toilet, and taking several towels with a blatant disregard for the hotel's environmentally conscious campaign, flipping off a sign suggesting that guests be mindful of their towel usage. Now, Steve, you worked in the hospitality industry. What's your towel stories?
So there is, in recent years, I'd say the past 15, 20 years, a movement to offer guests to not use new towels each time. The hotel says it's for the environment, but basically it's so they have to wash fewer towels. And, people do take towels all the time. It's kind of expected. We do charge you for them, probably more than you should pay. And so, yeah, I would say don't take the towels, but if you do, you're going to get charged like $60 a towel. They're good towels, but I don't know if you just go to Bed Bath & Beyond or wherever you buy towels and just get your own damn towels.
Yeah, I don't think I ever pilfered a towel from a hotel. I mean, I stay in hotels like a few times of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I'm a bad husband, Steve, not because of vacations. No, but like, yeah, it's always, even though the nice hotels we'll stay at, it's upon request. But usually, I mean, I think about it too. I'm like, do I have a new towel every day after I get out of the shower? No,
Yeah.
I use like the same one for a couple days and I wash it. It's the same way too. I'll use a towel, dry myself, let it dry, and then it's fine the next day.
Honestly, like if I'm staying at a hotel for 3 or 4 nights, I usually don't ask for any service until we leave because I don't know, like when I'm at home, I don't make the bed every day, so I don't care about a freshly made bed.
No.
And I don't know, like I don't need somebody to clean my room every day. Like let me swallow in my filth and then, take care of it at the end.
Yeah, that's usually the way it is.
Yeah. So a week later at the hotel bar Breezeways, another good name, Homer tells bartender Curtis that it usually takes 3 viewings of SportsCenter to really understand the nuances of the show. Homer, in his hotel-branded robe and visor, decides against a refill on his app platter, opting instead to check on Marge.
Marge isn't finding hotel living so easy, so she tries to rip the vacuum out of the housekeeper's hand. And Homer is concerned about his wife, saying that Marge just sits around and changes the combination on the room safe, despite it being empty. And Marge doesn't feel that she deserves to have her valuables locked up, since it's all her fault that they find themselves in the situation they are in.
Marge thinks her punishment should be to sit alone watching the channel about the hotel, which reminds guests that they can purchase toothbrushes and countless other amenities at the hotel store Sundries, located next to the business center. Homer's a fan of the store, showing off the shirt he bought there.
Homer knows Marge is suffering, but believes that he can make her feel better by showing her all that the Courtyard by Airport has to offer. And Marge thinks that it's just some dub chain hotel, but as Homer explains in song, it's oh so much more.
Well, since you blew the challenge, and we're not allowed to tell, we're getting all expenses paid at Airport Hotel. The pillows so foamy, baby. Order food on the phony. We'll eat Toblerone, so don't cry. For breakfast they have bagels, cream cheese but no lox. A mini pack of cereal, make a bowl out of the box. The pool so greeny, baby. The towel so teeny. No lifeguard to be seen. We could die. No job, no kids, no Flanders. Choice of bar soap or bath gel. Small ketchup's friends with tiny mustard. Airport Hotel. Now that I've shown you, baby, they'll leave us alone, yeah, baby. Toilets gotta phone ya. Don't know why.
Very good song. And as you mentioned, I did work for a number of hotel and motel chains. My parents worked them, but also in my adult life, I actually ended up working for a hotel for about 7.5 years of a chain that sounds an awful lot like Courtyard by Airport. And so the ketchup and mustard bottles are really funny because we had those and we went through them because you can't reuse them under in restaurants. A lot of times the Heinz ketchup bottle you quote unquote marry or refill, but we had to toss so many of those, and it's just kind of a waste to allow all those tiny glass bottles.
Yeah, and also the so many diners that you go to would have the Heinz glass bottle ketchups, but they were filling it up with Hunt's.
Oh, of course, yeah. Like whatever Cisco or Food Services America had that was cheaper, that's what they bought. You know it.
It's so weird. We probably have this condiment refrigerator talk all the time, but the ketchup just stays out all day. But I always put it in the refrigerator.
Ketchup has a high vinegar has a high acidity rating because of the tomatoes, so it stays good. You're fine.
I just put everything in the fridge, ketchup, mustard, my child, and they all seem okay.
Sure. Yeah, it's fine. They're cool.
Literally. Well, after some passionate kissing, Homer suggests they watch a movie, one whose title won't appear on the bill.
Ooh.
So they're watching Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 because no one wants to admit to that shame. No, there's a whole slew of pornography to, come to. And Marge flips through the Married Desires section, which offers titles such as
A Passion for Kissing,
A Summer's Deflowering,
A Hickey for Gwendolyn,
A Night at Versailles,
A Swashbuckler's Romance.
All right, Steve, which one are you watching or have you watched?
I gotta go with a Hickey for Gwendolyn because I like that Gwendolyn.
I think A Swashbuckler's Romance because that's what Our Flag Means Death was pretty much about.
That's true, yes. So Homer and Marge opt for an anniversary snuggle, and then they have a snuggle of their own. And the following morning, as Marge takes advantage of the Continental Breakfast self-service waffle iron, which is also a very real hotel thing that I have seen a million times, she thinks that maybe being trapped in a hotel isn't so bad. She's not worried, but she's not so worried about what the kids are doing.
And I've talked about before, my favorite thing now is the pancake machine, where you just hit a button and like 2 pancakes come out. It's amazing.
It's magic.
In the backyard of 742 Evergreen Terrace, Bart is instructing Milhouse, Nelson, and Ralph to dig. And they complain about being too hot. Not the sexy hot, but temperature-wise, Steve hot.
Although, Nelson in that vest without a shirt.
Too bad Martin's not there digging with Nelson. Bart promises that they can go for a swim as soon as they're done digging that pool. Don't you remember they already had a pool? Anyways, Lisa is ready to rat out Bart to Patty and Selma, but they also want a pool. In fact, Selma just got her first wax in years, which was so painful, she needed an epidural. It's very funny. And after a moment of confusion, like all the kids are just standing around looking like not sure what to do, Nelson just offers a ha-ha. I gotta say, kudos to Bart to actually convince Nelson to work for him.
Yeah, it's good work.
Yeah.
And they've actually made a pretty good progress because they're like 3 feet deep. And so, they've got a lot of work to do, but still, they're making good progress.
And they're like kids. Like, that's going to take a while. How many times as a kid did you try to dig to China? Like, every day.
Oh, yeah, all the time. One day I'll get there. So, back at the hotel, Marge comments that the fitness center may only have an old Nordic track, but still felt good to get some exercise. Homer did his own workout routine, sitting on a yoga ball drinking cucumber water. And then they walk by the Amazing Pace post-production room, which, all hotels have, and decide to see what's happening with the show. Homer's worried about Marge's emotions, but she's still on a high after reading that complimentary USA Today.
I don't think they give that in hotels anymore.
So I would say that I left my hotel job in the summer of 2018, so just a few months after before this show aired, this episode, and we were still giving away USA Todays at that time. So in the episode, it's still relevant. I don't know why. I think that's how the USA Today stays in business, is hotels.
But like the fitness center is like on point. Like it has like a Nordic track and then a couple weights, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's always a little bleak, but it'll get the job done if you really, really need to get a workout.
And who cleans it, Steve? Does the staff actually clean that room?
Yeah, there is like housekeeping assignments, and usually 1 or 2 housekeepers are meant to do like not the rooms, but the periphery. So like the lobby, the pool room, they have to take care of it, and it's probably an easier gig for them.
So the pool room and the billiard room, or just the pool room?
Pool and billiard, yes.
Like my favorite thing is a hotel bar, right? Overpriced everything, but like I love hotel bars. I love airport bars. I think they're the greatest thing ever because you never know who you'll see next.
That's right. Little pro tip: don't drink wine at hotel bars. Don't drink wine in places where you can buy food. You're paying way too much for that wine. Buy beer. Beer's always going to be fine price-wise.
Unless you guys don't clean the taps.
That's true, which should be cleaned at least monthly. And hard alcohol, you're paying more, but not that much more, and you're probably fine.
Just get bottom shelf shit. Like a mixed cocktail, easy way to go. Anyways, and the production room, Steve, is probably a conference room they converted.
I know.
or just a regular room. Anyways, so the editor is hard at work going through the episode that Marge and Homer were in, and Marge sees herself looking for the suitcase stowaway, accepting that she never found it. Then they see Homer looking through Marge's other bag, noting her vitamins and her pajamas. Vitamins and pajamas, and then makes another discovery.
Marge's giant chocolate bar?
I didn't pack a giant chocolate bar.
What Marge doesn't know is that her husband just ate her suitcase stowaway. This ultimate didgeridoo will send them packing.
Whoa!
I'm not the one who screwed up. You are!
I'm so sorry. I know you're gonna need some space, so I'll sleep on the couch.
Unfortunately, the couch is just about 6 inches away from Marge's bed in the room, and Marge is upset, and Homer feels bad. And then later, the episode turns interesting. The world turns from color to black and white, and Homer and Marge fall into a bit of cinematic melodrama in the style of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and they take a somber, out-of-focus walk through the courtyard of the Courtyard by Airport.
Yeah, I almost thought the twist was going to be a little bit different. And that's a good thing about the episode because it kept me on my feet, I guess. I thought it was going to be like a switcheroo, like they took it out so she couldn't find it because they didn't actually want Homer and Marge on the show. They wanted them to get kicked out.
That would make sense, yeah.
And then I almost thought the episode was going to continue to reveal that Bart and Lisa planned the whole thing so they can just have a vacation away from everybody.
Aw, that'd be really sweet.
But again, I don't think that works because obviously Marge's dream was to get on the show since forever. So I was a little too sappy and sentimental and saccharine thinking of this. It's weird, like just the format changes like so much.
So I was doing some research on this, and it turns out that the concept of the episode was because Matt Selman would watch Top Chef and feel bad for people who would get kicked off in the first show. So that's kind of the genesis of the episode. And this Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf bit is actually all Renee Ridgeley's idea. It was kind of her concept to come up with it. And in it, she plays the woman in the episode.
Oh, okay. I've never seen Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf because, I go through Halloween and there's always the scary movies. And I never get to that one because it's got Afraid and Wolf in the title. So I'm like, this is definitely a Halloween movie. So I haven't ventured to that one. Have you seen it?
I have not. In fact, I didn't know it was a parody of that until I started doing research from this. And also, there is in the Golden Age, the episode where Marge and Homer are fighting and there's a trouble with their marriage. You know, that one episode. But they go to counseling, and when they're going to counseling, there's also the big catfish that Homer wants to catch. And in that episode, there's another couple who are fighting and like they're real shitty to each other. That is also inspired by Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
It's really sad that we figured out a structure for a Patreon because this would have been a great movie to watch for a Patreon. But we already have
I know.
a structure now. It doesn't mean it's out of the question that we would ever watch Virginia Woolf, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
We watched our monthly movie already. But I'm glad you admitted that you didn't know what it was. I, on the other hand, will not admit if I knew or didn't know what this reference was because I want to sound smart.
I let that ship sail a long time ago. I'm a dipshit.
So they arrive back in the room exhausted. Marge remarks that the room is a dump, asking Homer where she's heard that phrase before. Homer is unsure, but Marge moves on, saying that they would be in that dump if he weren't such a flop. Homer, using a sophisticated stately accent, says that he's tired, but Marge goes on to call him a chocolate flop, and Homer accepts the insult, and their argument goes on.
Yes, a chocolate flop. That's what you keep braying at everybody.
I don't bray.
All right, you don't bray.
I do not bray.
I said you didn't bray.
Make me a drink.
Haven't you had enough?
Make me a drink.
Yes, dear.
And lay out some mixed nuts. We've got guests.
We've got what?
Guests. Guests. You know, what's their names?
I don't know their names.
They just got eliminated from the show. It took them 5 weeks, not 5 minutes. Go answer the door.
All right, love. Whatever love wants.
Get the door! The door!
getting in the door, you don't have to pray like some subhuman monster.
Oh, go to hell! Hi! Hi there! Come on in. This is...
Honey.
And this is Nick.
Oh, I thought his name was what's-his-name?
Just ignore Homer, old sourpuss.
That's me.
Yeah, this whole tone shift is so stark and interesting, and it's fun. I really enjoy their performances as these other people. I think it's really well done, and it's just so weird. It's such a bold choice. I really respect it.
Yeah, and it really makes me want to watch Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
Yeah, because it just sounds like people being awful to each other.
Yeah, just so that we could watch this scene and the scene they're parodying, like how well it's connected. So I don't know. Maybe I will watch it, but we don't have to do a podcast about it, Steve.
We can watch media without talking about it? I don't think that's allowed.
In this day and age, you're right. You're not allowed to. Marge, calling Homer a sourpuss, tells him to fix their guests a drink. Nick, played by George Segal, who was also in the film Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and of course, many other things like Just Shoot Me or The Goldbergs, which he died on. Well, he didn't die while filming, but that was his last thing. Compliments Marge at Homer's room, saying that he has the same artwork. That's a very funny line. So with a drink in hand, Nick and Marge take a seat. Marge compliments Nick's on nearly winning the three-legged race, and then offers some innuendo on how she'd handle Nick and his third leg.
You were right in there, Nick. Right at the meat of things.
There's no limit to you, is there?
And how would you have played the three-legged chase?
Why don't I show you?
Don't encourage her.
Encourage me. Inside, outside, inside, outside, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out.
You can sit around with the minibar gin running out of your mouth. You can tear me apart like the box the shower cap came in. That's perfectly okay. That's all right.
You can stand it.
I cannot stand it!
You can stand it. You married me for it.
Our son is dead.
No, he isn't.
We have no son!
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah, Bart. Man, last night sure was a searing portrait of a marriage in turmoil.
Again, I wish this was a video podcast, because when Marge kept saying in and out, Nick had his penis out and was putting it in her vagina, and that was what was going on.
Not subtle at all.
So the end part with Homer, like a marriage in turmoil, is that like the tagline to Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Or if nothing else, there's at least an apt description of the show.
I love that. It's like, our son is dead. We have no son. Yes, we do. It's a very funny line. So I'm assuming in Virginia Woolf they had a son that died?
I don't... Yeah, I think I saw something about that, that it was definitely an argument about how there's questions about whether the son was imaginary or not in the play turned movie. Again, like if we had seen it, we would know.
I'm looking up right now. 1966. That was the year that Batman first premiered.
Of course.
I always remember Batman 66. Mike Nichols was the director, starring, of course, Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton, George Segal, Sandy Dennis. I mean, I know these names. I know these people. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor is Maggie Simpson. Steve. On our film review on Patrons, we're talking about the voice actors of The Simpsons and their movies. Elizabeth Taylor voiced the main character of The Simpsons, Maggie.
That's true.
That means we're allowed to watch Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I mean, besides this obvious connection.
Right.
Yeah, it just makes me want to watch this. Okay, well, I'm not going to, Steve. It's based off of a play, so I'm just thinking, if it's based off of a play, and we've never seen the movie or read the play or seen the play, what if you and I find a small dinner theater where we perform this play, and that way we won't get any influence from the movie or seeing a play. We'll just do it cold and interpret it the way we see it. You know, we'll switch it around. We'll be the female leads, and then we'll hire the women to play the male leads, or vice versa. We could be a couple, and then it could be a gay couple. It could be a straight couple.
This is very progressive. I like this. Yeah.
All right. and we're going to call it Who's Not Scared? No, Who's Not as Scared of West Virginia Direwolf.
Ah, yes. Game of Thrones, I like it.
And it'll be set in Game of Thrones time. I'll be, Lord of the Rings time. I'll be a hobbit. You could be a dwarf. And then,
Sure.
We're going to cast our significant others. They could be elves.
I like it, yes. And it looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
We'll add that in there. And we'll do it in yellowface, so we're Simpsons characters.
Yes, I see no problems with any of this. So Marge reminds Homer that their marriage is still facing turmoil, calling him a chocolate-gobbling dream killer. Just then, Tag Tuckerberg bursts through into the breakfast room, telling the guests to gather by the bowl of mini yogurts. For the first time ever, 2 eliminated contestants will be brought back to compete in the finale. There's only one condition. They have to dump their loved one for another partner.
So the losing contestants all shake their heads at the dead weight drop. But Marge leaps at the opportunity, choosing Nick. Homer is glad that no one will see his humiliation. But as he says that, a camera operator zooms in on his face.
Oof. So it's time for the final challenge. Mango Tango. # Mango Tango. As Tag describes, the contestants have to pick and peel enough fresh mangoes to make 6 mango-ritas, which they then must carry across a log bridge. Under that bridge is a pack of mango-loving monkeys who can only be soothed by the music played by a penny whistle. And there will also be a Kia Sportager in the background, but the producers couldn't find a way to fit that into the challenge.
And Steve, don't you bother
for
my gift at the end of the episode. Get me a Kia Sportage, because I'll let you know I drive a Kia Sportage.
Wow, we drive a Kia Forte, so yes.
You better give that back to Will, like the time you gave back your Corolla to Adam. All right, I'm done. Hey, see, here's the recipe, which it's funny when I'm watching this, because back, if you haven't listened to the podcast from the beginning, we used to do a beer or wine corner before the episode to pair with the show, or just, it was a reason for us to get drunk. And we don't do that anymore. And this would have been a great episode to watch because it has a cocktail. We used to have a cocktail corner. In fact, for shits and giggles, let's go to the cocktail corner.
All right.
Afternoon delight, cocktails and moonlit nights. That dreamy look in your eye, give me a tropical contact high.
All right, Steve, here we go. The recipe is, why am I Jesse Ventura? I don't know. Add mangoes, contour, lime juice, and ice to blender. Salt the rims of the glasses and pour and serve. All right. I see. I just blended it and I poured it in the glass, and there you go.
All right. Mango-y. I do have to say, something's a little off about it.
Uh-oh. Well, with their instructions in place, Marge and Nick get to work. So let's hear. I mean, I thought I did it that way, but let's see what happens in this clip.
And Marge draws first fruit.
I'll make the mango-ritas.
Great teamwork. Could this be $1 million puree?
I'll handle those monkeys.
It's the ultimate groovy chill-out flute jam. Look, the monkeys are bellowing. This is our Kia Sportage moment.
I did it! We won without Homer!
Marge and Nick, I want to congratulate you on winning the amazing place.
Yay!
I want to, but I can't. Because you failed to salt the rims of your mango-ritas, rendering them mango nothings.
I screwed up a recipe.
So get out of the way of the actual winners, Sean and Barry.
Our rims are super salty.
Steve, I forgot to salt your rim.
I knew there was something wrong.
I love, yeah, I'm just very funny.
It's Sean, your beloved Sean.
I love Sean.
I know.
I love Sean, and our ribs are super salty. It's a very funny joke.
Yes, but one thing that I do have to say is that I was watching this, and I got that recipe from the card that Tag was holding in his hand. But when Marge was making her cocktail, she added tequila, and that just makes sense because it's a margarita or a mangarita. but also it just makes it taste better because otherwise you just have mango and orange liqueur in the contro. And so not only did Marge not solve her rims, she added an extra ingredient, which, while making the cocktail better, is not in the rule book. So, witnessing their loss, Nick snaps his penny whistle in half, causing the monkeys to maul off his face. Meanwhile, Marge is defeated yet again, and she calls herself a noob. Take a shot.
All right, shot.
Still dealing with that margarita. The screen rewinds, and then she calls herself a noob again. One more. And again. One more time. In the living room, the Simpsons are watching an episode, all agreeing that Marge is, in fact, a noob.
Who are you?
I'm Nick. You're, what's his name? Chocolate Flop.
E.C. Slater.
This is Access Hollywood.
Marge admits that she was a jerk, and he wants to know how she can make it up to Homer. So playing the noob clip, goddamn, one more time, Homer explains that he screwed up countless times, and each time people always feel bad for Marge. But with this epic, noob blunder, he will now receive the pity party. He asks Marge if she feels this good all the time, and she does, though she never really allows herself to enjoy it.
I want to feel good all the time. So as the credits roll, and they begin to roll, the Simpsons wonder what they'll watch next. Marge suggests another reality show, while Lisa offers a performance of an Edward Albee play on PBS. I wonder if it's that stupid Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf there is a Santa Claus play.
I'm sorry, what's PBS? That don't exist anymore.
No, we got rid of that. We made America great again. No, I'm sorry. All joking aside, that really bothers me.
But I mean, sadly, we're gonna get, like, in a year or less, Ken Burns, the 45th and 47th greatest president of all time, 12-hour documentary.
That's true.
Series.
Just slow pans of photos of Trump doing dumb shit. Homer makes the final call, watching sports talk show Anger vs. Angry, where Anger Watkins and Skip Angry argue over the fate of the Phoenix Suns. And that is our episode.
Well, it was a doozy, Steve, but I'll let you know, we had, I think I lost count, but I think we have at least 10 shots of Everclear we did for the noob comments. So, all of a sudden, I'm not feeling it anymore. That's weird. Yes, I'm feeling it.
I remember that Everclear as well as Art Alexakis.
On that note, Steve, I will buy you a big house in the hill. That's the
yeah,
Everclear.
You got it.
Okay. On that note, Steve, I think we need to sober up, come back, and then wrap it up.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. All right, Steve, we are back. Let's finish up this week's episode, Heartbreak Hotel. We'll talk about some of our favorite scenes, maybe find out most valuable jokester, give it a review, find out what we're watching next week. But before all that, we'd like to find something in this episode, scour the episode itself for things that could be possible gifts to give as a present. And I think the reason why we brought this gift exchange idea up is we used to do tattoos and things like that. But now that Simpsons are actually making physical products based on products on the show, like you can get an actual Funzo doll, you can get a Krusty the Clown doll that has good and evil settings on it. You can get a Moe's telephone. So I thought we're helping out Disney and the Simpsons people with, hey, you can make these products.
Finally, Disney can make merchandise where they can sell and make some money because they need the money.
They do. We don't. They do. All right. So first off, Steve, I figure, you and your wife like to play board games, and there's plenty of board game jokes in this episode, but I thought I was going to surprise you. But here's the 138th Simpsons podcast, The Board Game, for you and your wife to play.
Oh, wow.
You each get to play either Craig or Steve, and there's witty remarks on cards, and it's just mostly dick or fart jokes.
Oh, wow. It's nice of the creators of the game to add witty remarks instead of the dipshit things that we say, but that's very nice of you.
But You obviously get glasses or ball cap to play Steve.
Nice.
And then for Craig, you get the beard and a giant belly. So play that with your wife anytime, but maybe don't make it a sex game because that might be a little weird.
Every game's a sex game, and every sex game ends in sorry.
Let's see. What else do you want? Here's a certificate for you. And it says, congratulations, Steve, being part of the amazing race, signed by David Duke. I don't know what that means, but there's your certificate.
Wow.
And look in your bathroom, Steve.
Oh.
You got nice white towels with a white robe that I stole from Courtyard by the airport.
Very nice.
And lastly, but mostly and surely, here's some monkeys and a flute.
Oh, cool. Thank God. I was worried you were just going to give me a bunch of mangoes.
The character by Chris Kattan? Is that his name, Mango?
I don't touch the mango.
Yeah. There's your gifts.
Thank you, Craig. That's very, very kind of you. I got you some things as well. Of course, I got you a shirt from Sundries that says Sundries, and a toothbrush from there as well. I got you an old Nordic track, a glass of cucumber water. But I did also give you an open tab at the hotel bar so you can drink to your delight and get an appetizer. And to round it out, because you'll be stinky after that, I got you a bottle of bubble bath.
Ooh, I love a good bubble bath.
Who doesn't?
I don't know the last time I took a bubble bath, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it.
All right. And while you're in the bubble bath, enjoy some of Uncle Gooey's marshmallows. The secret is cum. That's why they're so gooey.
Gooey. Steve?
What made you laugh in this episode?
I really enjoyed Tress McNeil's producer character. She didn't have a lot to say, but I really liked, ooh, married kids. You're on the show. That's a very funny line. George Siegel playing his role of Nick from Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, reprising that role. And it's that whole scene that was in black and white. So weird, so strange, so bold. Really liked it. I thought Rhys Darby did a great job as Tag, playing the ever-enthusiastic game show host. But I think if I have to give a most valuable jokester, it's got to go to Homer. I love the dynamic of him and Marge in this, the way that they bicker in that kind of drunken, angry way. But his over-the-top performance in that accent that he kind of affects, it's just really good. And I also like that he's just kind of going along with the ride and he's enjoying it as best he can and trying to be sensitive to Marge. But I think it's a lot of fun, him just having a ball at the mid-tier hotel. It's just great. What about you?
Yeah, I think favorite scene is still Marge complaining that 6 weeks off and all the unlimited food and beverages and shitty movies. And Homer's expression is just on point. And you're right, the whole Virginia Woolf scene, it's weird, but now learning about it and knowing what it's about, I think is really cool. And makes me want to watch the movie or see a play. Marge, I think, also has some props there, too, because I love just her enthusiasm for the show, and nothing turns out right for her, because that's Marge.
Right.
I feel bad for her. But I think my MVJ, this sounds weird, is blue-haired lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
So that whole scene where he's talking to Marge and Homer about they can't say anything to the kids about the show. I love just him putting the glasses on Homer for some reason. He knew it was coming and how astute he is. I want to see, I want them to make more back episodes of maybe Blue-Haired Lawyer. Give us that episode. We just recently, for the newer episodes, learned a lot more backstory of Bumblebee Man. So why can't we have a backstory of Blue-Haired Lawyer?
How did he get through law school? What was he before a lawyer? Why did he choose law?
What if we just find out he's actually Kirk's brother?
Ooh, yeah.
Because glasses, blue hair, larger nose. Why not?
There's another character who has blue hair. Maybe he's related to Marge.
So I thought that scene was probably one of my favorite scenes. So, yeah. How about your thoughts on the whole episode, Steve?
Well, I'll say that I'm not the biggest fan of these reality shows, The Survivors or Your Amazing Race, but I like that Marge is, and I love just the general enthusiasm that she has for the show, and for Bart and Lisa wanting them to get her on the show. I think that was a lot of fun and really cool, and I like the way they turned with this. They explored the hotel really well. Seeing Marge initially feeling bad for being the fuck up, and only to learn that Homer was. We've seen Homer and Marge having trouble with their marriage a million times, and I think that this way that they covered it is light and fun and fresh, and I think it worked really well. I had a lot of fun with this episode. It might not stand the test of time, but I don't care. I think it's a watch. I think it's interesting. I like the fact that Matt and Renee wrote this together, and I think it comes off as a very loving tribute to both Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, reality shows, and hotels. It's a weird combo, and I like it. They made some fun choices, and and also some good callbacks with Marge's other failed chances at greatness. The play, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, runs about 3 hours. So out of 180 minutes, I'm going to give this 155. Give you a chance to get up and pee and stretch your legs. So that's my thoughts. It's a watch. What about you, Craig?
Yeah, someone who doesn't like reality-based TV shows, there was a lot there that I think even a person who doesn't know about it understands the references and how silly those shows are. It's structured weird in the sense, I think that whole, like the 15 minutes is like a straight up basic episode, but then when they do the Virginia Woolf stuff, at first, like, are we like in a dream sequence, or because it kind of seems that way, because the way it works out is they're sleeping in, she's sleeping on bed and he's on the couch, and then the dream sequence starts. So my thinking is this Marge's dream, but then it turns out it's not a dream, because then she gets to go back and work on the show, right?
Yeah.
So it's really weird structure. And then like the last act of that Virginia Woolf thing, and then the challenge, and then it just really ends so abruptly. Like, because the way it ends with like she loses and they're back at home watching the TV during the time, I'm just jilted by the pacing of the episode.
Sure.
It's like my biggest complaint. But other than that, I think it does well of making jokes, and for me too, watching as a viewer, like I'm trying to figure out the episode as if it's like a murder mystery, which, like I do with everything.
Right.
But, when I'm coming with like so what's going to happen is it's probably this, and this, and everything that I thought didn't happen. So I appreciate it for that.
Can I make an argument that is bold? I don't want to interrupt you, but I would say that I would rank this way lower had it not been for the Virginia Woolf bit, because I think that just kind of confused me enough to make me intrigued.
I think you're right, because at first I'm like, I'm not sure what to expect or how to feel about this, but us talking about and doing research, you're like, okay, now this is maybe kind of brilliant. And I forgot to mention, I also love the scene with Bart telling the kids to dig the pool. Is also one of my favorite scenes. But back to what I was saying, like, it's very much of the time of season 30, 2018. Like, a lot of references now, like, will be dated. It's already dated, but I feel like in 10 years, there's going to be a lot of like dated references. But that's what to expect with newer Simpsons. So I can't fault it on that. If I did give us a ranking, of course, we talked about Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Did you know that Mike Nichols, great famed director, he did The Graduate, Birdcage, Closer, famed director. That was his first film directed movie, was Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
Oh, wow.
And that, he went on to do The Graduate after that. So like everyone wanted to work with Mike Nichols. So out of Mike Nichols, of course, his first movie was Virginia Woolf. Steve, we've talked about this movie before, but haven't watched it. What was his film from 1994? He's like, I want to do something like Virginia Woolf, but I want to get rid of Who's Afraid Virginia and of. I want to direct Wolf. That's right. He directed the film Wolf, starring the Joker. That's right. Jack Nicholson and Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Whoa.
Also starring a Christopher Plummer, who would later or earlier in his career, a few years earlier, was in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, as the villainous Klingon named Chang.
Oh.
And also in Star Trek, Steve, there was a movie in 2009 called Star Trek, written and directed by J.J. Abrams. Steve, what was J.J. Abrams' first written credit? Well, that was, of course, Regarding Henry, which was directed by Mike Nichols.
Whoa.
Starring Harrison Ford. And Harrison Ford was Han Solo.
True.
And so, in a few years later, Han Solo to return in Star Wars The Force Awakens, directed by J.J. Abrams.
Well,
so out of the Star Wars movies, I give this episode of The Simpsons, The Phantom Menace.
Ooh, that's very fair. I was hoping that you'd reveal that Mike Nichols directed Empire Strikes Back or something.
No, I was trying to go down the rabbit hole of,
Sure.
of things, but I stopped there, Steve. Steve, this was fun to actually use the wheel of random and watch an episode. We haven't done that in a long time.
Indeed.
And you know what? The wheel's back, baby. We got another episode for next week.
Oh,
that
boy.
Isn't a new episode. So, Steve, let's give that wheel a spin to see what we're watching.
All right, here we go.
All right, Steve, we have season 14.
Season 14.
Let's find out what the episode is. We have episode 2, season 14, episode 2. Steve, what do you think the title is?
Well, this week we talked about Heartbreak Hotel, which is, of course, a song, rock and roll song by one Elvis Presley. So I figure we'll keep the trend going. So maybe it's Hound Doe, like Hound Dog, but Hound Annoyed Grunt.
I was hoping that it was going to be a parody of Blue Suede Shoes called Blue Haired Lawyer.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
No, Steve, but you are on the right musical track because there's some music involved in this episode. It's called How I Spent My Strummer Vacation. I think you know what this episode's about, but pretend you don't, Steve. What do you think this episode's about?
Well, I'm going to say that it's summer break and Lisa becomes a busker, playing her guitar, playing Classical Gas and, the power plant song on the streets of Springfield, trying to make a little bit of extra money to buy new reeds for her saxophone. In the B plot, Bart also tries his hands at street performance, becoming one of those guys dressed in silver who stands still and then moves funny. But Milhouse also becomes one of those guys, and they become opponents on opposing streets. And in the C plot, the sea captain opens an aquarium, and Lisa's also upset by that.
That's a lot of Lisa for one episode, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably right.
All right. It's actually this. Marge and the children, played by Bart, Lisa, and Maggie, send Homer to the Rolling Stones fantasy camp where he rubs elbows with rockers such as Elvis Costello, Mick Jagger, Lenny Kravitz, Tom Petty, Keith Richards, and Brian Setzer.
Wow.
Steve, do you have fond memories of this episode?
I do, and I have one big problem with this episode.
I know what it is.
Okay.
It's the scene with Lenny Kravitz, and when he bends over, his pants don't rip and his hog doesn't pop out.
I mean, actually, they do make reference to that, believe it or not.
Do they in this episode?
We'll get there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But one of my favorite bands of all time is The Clash, and the singer from The Clash, or one of the singers, is Joe Strummer. And when I found out that this episode was going to feature a lot of rock stars and it was called How I Spent My Strummer Vacation, I was so mad that he wasn't in the episode.
Well, I think like Strummer.
Yeah, I know.
Guitar strumming, yeah. So Elvis Costello, he's fine, right? Mick Jagger, problematic, right? In his youth. And
sure.
Didn't he just have a kid? He's like 90 years old.
Yeah.
Lenny Kravitz seems fine because he's Jewish, with that last name. Tom Petty, R.I.P. Keith Richards, still alive. Brian Setzer, is he still alive?
Yeah, I think. Sure.
All right. Yeah, I remember this episode, and it's one of those episodes that just screams of season premiere, even though it's not. It's episode 2, but it 100%, just has that vibe. Yeah. I remember like seeing ads for this episode. Like, it is a big episode because of all those guest stars.
Yeah, it was a monumental episode.
And has Tom Petty already been on King of the Hill at the time? Like, because I'm on my King of the Hill watch, and like he's lucky, and he's like a main character now.
I would say at this time he's probably been on the show because 2002. He's probably on the show, but he might not have the big part that he did like later on in the show.
I'm looking forward to watching this episode. I think it's one we've talked about, and we always say, "Have we talked about it?" And we haven't. And I also feel like it might be part of like, in my mind, it's always kind of like in that golden age. Like, it feels like it should be a golden age episode. Like,
right. I agree.
When I mean like too old for us to actually review it, but it's not. Season 14. Wow. All right. Well, I had a lot of fun talking about Heartbreak Hotel, and I can't wait to talk about my Strummer vacation next week. But in the meantime, talk to us, folks. Email us at 13simpsons@gmail.com or contact us on socials at YouTube or Instagram at 13simpsons.
And if you're so kind, get your favorite podcatching app, leave us 5 stars or the equivalent, but you needed to write an actual review. Just tell us the reality show that you would compete to be on an audition for.
And don't forget to sign up for a Patreon, $5 a month, and you get exclusive episodes every week of structured podcasts, I would say. Besides this podcast, you'll get a little bit earlier than most. You will get, once a month, we do an old episode, The Golden Age. We crack open seasons 1 through 10 and watch an episode at random of The Simpsons. We also do one movie review a month, and this month we've reviewed Nothing in Common, which is Dan Castellaneta's first appearance in a film. Dan Castellaneta plays Homer, Steve. We have just the AnnoyedGruntBoys podcast, which is just us. That's it.
This is.
You'll understand when you hear it. It's just a shock jock radio show. Not really at all. But, it's our month in review, essentially. It'll be us talking about films, TVs, food, that sort of thing. It's a talk show without guests. And, of course, Eye Off Springfield, which is us talking about another TV show that might be connected to The Simpsons somehow or not. But this week, it's an Eye Off Springfield. So for Patreon listeners, here's a little clue. You're going to have to go to the year 3000 to watch this episode.
And don't get drunk. Don't get on a bender.
And you might want to sit down and have a hamburger and fries with this episode.
And if you like it, you might be saying that it's good news, everyone.
And you can look at your one-eyed monster. No, not that one. The one that Katie Seagal voices, Leela.
That's right. That's right. We're watching Married with Children.
That could be an option, but not this week, Steve. That's right. We're going to Space Pilot 3000, the first episode of Futurama. So sign up now and listen to it later this week. And all of that aside, you can also check out our merch store at tpublic.com/user/AnnoyedGruntBoys. All right, Steve.
All right.
Thanks for being an Annoyed Grunt Boy. And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And remember, we're motorcycle bikers.
My rim is extra salty.
Oh my God. Married kids? You're in the show.